communication and the importance of English language. Now, when it comes to communication, you have uh, there are so many types of communication. Let it be vocal or written or reader, again, various types of gestures or other types of communication. Communication is a strong force. Now, that is what Richard Feynman, a great physicist who was known for nuclear technology, spoke about. Again, he finds that communication is a strong force which, if it is not properly used, it can move a country on the verge of war. So, in the present era of air trigger balances, it is important for us to understand the importance of communication, the importance of communication, and the precision and the accuracy in delivering the message or an information or an idea is very, very important. Now, a miscommunicated thought or an idea can create havoc or disturbance between people, not only people, even between countries, even between communities, isn't it? That is what happened in France 2 months before. That is what happened in France. You know what happened? The teacher wrote a cartoon about Muhammad Paigambar, and the student did not receive it well, and that miscommunication that took place between the teacher and the student ended up in a tragedy that the teacher was killed, isn't it? So, what I mean to say is communication is a strong force. So, if you do not communicate an idea or an information or a thought in a proper way, it can lead to a disaster. It can lead to a disaster, and a miscommunicated information may create a war or disaster among people of different countries and religions, isn't it? And also beliefs. A miscommunicated thought or an idea may bring two armies on the again on the to the brink of war, to the brink of war. Uh, that is what I mean. Like communication. What is communication? Communication is the process of understanding. Process of understanding what has to be communicated. So the process of understanding what has to be communicated, process of understanding or sharing the meaning or the information, sharing the meaning or the information. Now there are three important things that you have to keep in when it comes to communication. Keep in mind when it comes to communication. You have a speaker, you have a communicate a thought or an idea that has to be communicated, and on the other side you have a receiver. So the speaker, let it be a communicator, let you communicator or an idea or the receiver. So these are the three important stages in communication, isn't it? A person who is going to communicate the idea or the information or a thought, and the person who is going to receive that communication. These are the three important stages in communication. So communication means what? The process of understanding or sharing a meaning. Exactly. And as I told you, a miscommunicated thought can bring two armies to a verge of war. So you have a best standing example in Galwan Valley, that near the Pangong Lake. What happened between two major powers of Asia, major powers of Asia. So you know China on the other side is ready to occupy some parts of Ladakh, and India on the other side is ready to defend its again some parts of its land share, whatever you can say. So what I mean to say is, so what is happening after that? So what is happening after February incident that took place in Ladakh? So the two countries have started to negotiate. They have started to sit on a table, and they are on discussion. There has There are many meetings. There have been many meetings held for since last 9 to 10 months between the two major Asian big powers, isn't it? So to sort out the issue of Galwan Valley or Ladakh boundary issue with between the two countries. So what I mean to say is communication is very, very important. If you remain silent like what happened between Russia and China in those 2 to 3 decades of again, there was a Cold War period. It is considered as a Cold War era, and the two major nations of the world were on the brink of a Third World War. There was supposed to take place a Third World War, and what happened after that? So they negotiated. They came into a negotiation table. There was a treaty, and the two nations agreed that they are not going to use the nuclear weapons, and they are going to de-escalate the situation, and the world is peaceful now, and there is no chance of a Third World War because of this dialogue or the continuous process of communication that is taking place between the two major powers of the world. So what I mean to say is communication is a strong force, and if you do not understand the importance of communication, particularly you are living in 21st century, and again, whatever the idea or the information or the thought that you want to deliver to the person to someone who is listening to you carefully, for him, your thought or idea has to be delivered in such a way that he has to understand it, isn't it? He has to realize it. He has to make sure that what you are delivering is very, very important, isn't it? So communication at the same time, no matter what job you have in life, no matter what job you are doing in life, whatever the job you are undertaking or you are going through, like whatever the means, let it be you are all doing your PG. After that, after doing PG, you may pick up a professional job, and there when you attend an interview, normally an interviewer looks for someone who is capable of communicating, capable of communicating very capable of communicating an issue very well. A good communicator is always looked for. So you have to develop the communicating skills, isn't it? So in that way, no matter what job you have in life, your success will be determined 5% by your academic credentials, and 15% by your professional experiences, and 80% by your communication skills. So 80%, so they just look 15% of your experience and 5% of your academic credentials, and the remaining 80% is normally again 80%, remaining 80% is normally allotted for someone who is having better communication skills, So in that way, communication is the human connection. It is the human connection which is key to personal and career success, which is key or important to personal or career success. If you want to succeed in life, if you want to achieve bigger milestones in life, you need to achieve this. You need to develop or inculcate these communication skills. Communication skills. You have to be a good orator. That has to come with a lot of again extempore, isn't it? So you have a lot of people in Indian politics. But even if you take up the list of prime ministers since 1947, whoever ruled India after 1947, you see people who have great communicating skills or the communication skills have succeeded in politics. Again, they are capable of reaching the mass, the public, isn't it? So that is what happened with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, again, who ruled India for the last 10 years, but he failed in communicating his programs or projects to people. But whereas when it comes to the present Prime Minister, his extempore, his natural process, the way he communicates to people is simply remarkable. And you have another great example when it comes to the again. When it comes to the president, the first citizen of India, the former president, you had Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, was a good orator, used to attend school functions and used to reach the school children. When it comes to addressing the school children, he was capable of again making them realize the importance of science, making them realize the importance of nation building, isn't it? So all the good orators are very, very close to all the good orators or people with great extempore are certain, they do certainly have good communicating skills, and they are able to reach the mass. They are able to reach the grassroots part of India, whoever the politician, like let it be a president or a prime minister who is ruling a particular nation. So if that particular politician or a leader succeeds, who has got the great communicating skills, isn't it? So you can achieve personal goals, and also you can achieve personal goals like by winning the hearts of people. A good communicator always is capable of maintaining good relationship with people. You will be having normally you'll be having a lot of friends, and you'll be jovial, very, very positive when it comes to his approach towards life, isn't it? So when it comes to personal career, personal and also professional career, again you can see the people who are again with great communicating skills, they have succeeded. And meanwhile, it is also necessary to keep in mind that to effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different. We are all different in the way we perceive the world, and also this kind of this method of perception or the way looking at the world is different from one person to another person. So your perception about world, your idea or view or opinion about world, about life is different from my opinion, isn't it? From my opinion, my again viewpoint. So in that case, meanwhile, it is also necessary to understand that each individual has got his own different perception when it comes to dealing with the world, and we use this understanding as a guide to our communication with the people, isn't it? With other people. So, as a postgraduate student, you should be in a position. To take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills. So you will be having so many platforms, or so many areas to improve your communicative skills. So you can see how can you improve your communicative skills? By continuously talking to people, by gaining a lot of experience from people, and by involving in incidents, real life experiences, and at the same time, whenever you get the opportunity to communicate with people, you should grab that opportunity with open hands, because normally you don't get such opportunities where you can enhance or improve your communicative skills. So when you are thrown, or again when you are pushed, when you are trashed amongst the people or the crowd, so when you find people are gathering wherever whichever the platform is, so in such situations you should make use of the situation, and you should make sure that you can converse with people. You should converse with people and improve your communicative skills. So that how can you improve your communicative skills? The gestures, the body language, your approach, the eyes, isn't it? The presence of mind and language, everything matters when it comes to improving your communicative skills. So communication not only means oral communication. Communication also has got different other forms of communication. You have written form of communication. You have gestures. You have body languages, isn't it? And you have gestures, signs and signified. So see, signs are very, very important. Signs are also again another form of communication. You can see signboards when you are waiting for signal to again to cross the signal, and you're waiting in the signal to cross the signal. You can see there will be signals like there will be lights, different lights used. It connotes something. It means something, right? So even a red signal or a green signal or a yellow signal has got specific meaning. Has got specific meaning. So it connotes something. It has a specific meaning. So you have to understand that. You have to realize that. So it will be communicating something. So signs, gestures, body language, the way you sit, the way you approach people, everything communicates something, isn't it? All such issues are very, very trivial, very, very small, but they are very, very important. They are very, very important. But again, see, nobody again winking your eyes, winking your eyes has got some other meaning, isn't it? For a college boy, it gives some other meaning. For a sportsman, it gives another meaning. So the way you look at the things, isn't it? Even winking your eye has got something to communicate. Winking your eye has got something to communicate. Even raising your eyebrows, biting your lips, isn't it? And sitting in a cross leg, okay, that all connotes something. It all means something. So sitting in a cross leg means a man with confidence. Okay, a man with high brow again. Raised eyebrow means a man with ego. If a person has got raised eyebrow, means a man with ego who gives priority for the letter I. The letter I means high, which means a man with self. You can call him as a self-centered man. Self-centered man, a man with ego. You know, everything matters. In America, they have done a lot of research when it comes to signs and signifiers. So if some certain sign has got something to signify, something to communicate. You can't hold a hand of a boy in America and walk in the streets of New York. So that gives a different meaning. You will be considered as a gay. In America, if you start walking with a boy holding his hand, so it gives some other meaning. So and at the same time, you can't put your hand over his shoulder. It gives some other meaning, isn't it? And you can't shake hand with a British citizen more than 2 to 3 seconds. Okay. Whereas when it comes to Russian, when it comes to shaking a hand with a Russian, so you can shake his hand for almost 5 to 10 minutes. He doesn't again. If you are not ready to give up, he will be holding your hand. So every country has got different culture and every country has got different approach when it comes to signs and signifiers. Signs and signifiers. So in India, like Namaste has got something to can connote. It got something to again. And if you are touching a feet of an elderly person, it has some other meaning, right? You are showing respect to it, right? Yeah? So in that way, communication, even in the form of signs, signify, gestures, they are called as gestures, humble gestures, isn't it? Gestures with lot of respect. And even our own prime minister is known for a tight hug wherever he goes, wherever he lands. He gives a tight hug to that the president or the prime minister of that hosting nation, isn't it? So that means something. It means that we have got very close bondage. Hugging someone means stating that you have got warm feelings, warm relationship with that person, isn't it? So that gives some other meaning. Hugging a person means you have a warm relationship with that person, and a warm relationship with that person, and again a very close bondage with that person. So again, every country has got different approach or different cultural setup when it comes to gestures, body language. Now, people have done a lot of research when it comes to, particularly Americans have done research on the body language of Vladimir Putin, the Russian president the Russian president. So they have done a lot of research on him. So they have studied even his walking style. So to make sure that what kind of personality he is. So whether he is aggressive in nature, whether he is humble in nature. So they have done a lot of research when it comes to the political leaders of the world, their body language, the way they wear, the way they walk. the way they treat people, the way they look at the mass, the gestures, they all signify your what character. They all signify your character. They'll be studying so much, isn't it? These modern day research people, when it comes to the field of psychology, they'll be studying your body language, gestures, something all that related to communication. Should be communicating something. So it makes sure, to make sure that whether he is warmonger, whether he is interested in war, or whether he is a man who is uh, who gives more importance to peace, who gives more importance to peace. So they have done so much of extensive research in this field when it comes to signs and signifiers, when it comes to gestures, body language, and all. So again, that particular field is different, but it, it has got something to say. It has got some meaning to communicate, right? To communicate. So as I told you, as a postgraduate student, you should be in a position to take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communicative skills, so that whatever the important occasions arise, you will be able to you will be having that extra gift. You can say the gift, or the style, or the sharpness, or the clarity, or the uh, accuracy, or the clarity, and the emotions to keep in mind when communicating or listening to what is said and what is said. So, like I told you, the clarity of the emotions, the clarity when it comes to emotions has to be kept in mind, and again, you should know. So you should know how to reach the people, how to reach the people. So there you need to have again clarity or accuracy when it comes to choosing your audience. You should know whom you are addressing, isn't it? And the clarity and the emotions to affect other people. The most important thing is to keep in mind is in communication is listening to what is said, and to grasp what is new and fresh information. So you should be able to grasp. So if you find something new and fresh, you should be able to grasp that information. If you find that there is something unfamiliar, which is not known to you, which is unknown to you, so you should be able to grasp that information. So that is very, very important. So in communication, listening skill is also very, very important. You should have that patience or modesty, you can say patience, modesty, or you can say that it should not be a one-way communication. You should always be a patient listener. You should always be a patient. A good doctor is always a patient listener who is capable of listening to his patient very carefully. Okay, he should always be a patient listener, so that he can diagnose the problem of his patient, isn't it? So when it comes to communication, not only the information which is uh, addressed or given, or the information or thought or an idea which is shared by someone, at the same time, the receiver is also important. The one who is receiving your information is also important. You should keep that person or the mass or the community in mind. Okay, if you are addressing a group of religious people, so you should know what to address and what not to address, what to teach, what to preach, and what not to preach, isn't it? And even though we are living in 21st century, there are people like the modern day godmen like Nityananda, who can fool people with his better communicative skills. With his better communicative skills, I don't again. I don't advise you to endorse his again religious preachings. So, but one thing is sure, that he is fooling people. He is fooling people, and there are takers to Nityananda's preaching. So, what I need to say is there are negative aspects of communication. So, people misuse communication to cheat people. So, people are ready to misuse. So, they have better communicating skills, but they use that advantageous or whatever you can say, that like the intelligence or the smartness when it comes to dealing with people. They know how to communicate, they know how to reach them, they know how to spoil their mind, how to brainwash their mind. So in that way, they succeed. They succeed. So what I mean to say is, people misuse communication for their personal again achievement, or again for their personal goals, which you have to be very, very careful. But as I told you, as a student, again, a student of post graduation, you should learn the importance of communication, because you will be thrown into the open market where you have to pick up positions, different positions. You may work in marketing sector, you may work in multinational companies, you may work in BPOs, call centers, you may get an opportunity to work as a teacher, you may get an opportunity to work as a guide, or you may get an opportunity to work in defense, to work in defense. Even in defense, again, communication is very, very important. Everything matters. Okay, if you fire a bullet, firing one bullet means something, firing two bullets means something, hoisting a white flag means something, means we seek what peace, hoisting a red flag means what, we are ready for war. Everything has got specific meaning. So that way, communication is a very, very strong force. So you should accept the fact that communication is a strong force that can be either used for good or bad. It can be either used for good or bad. A well or miscommunicated idea or thought can can what can pull people towards you like a magnet, like a magnet, or repel people away like a deadly scorpion. Again, a scorpion hiding in the rug, hiding in the rug. A miscommunicated or a well communicated idea or thought can attract people. At the same time, it has got another disadvantage. If you are a bad communicator, if people try to understand that what you are communicating is a lie, he is trying to fool us, if they realize that you are trying to fool them, so it can repel. So that the same communication, the miscommunicated thought or idea, can repel people from you. It's like communication is like a scorpion. It's like a scorpion hiding under the carpet or the rug, under a rug or a carpet. At the same time, it is like a magnet which can pull mass towards you. So people will be coming in huge number to attend your rallies, to attend your speech, to listen to you. So if you are a good orator with a lot of extempore, natural flow of thoughts, with natural flow of thoughts and words, emotions, thoughts, words, they are all interlinked. Whatever that comes to your mind with emotions, again, that comes through thoughts, and through thoughts, you can see you have to be very, very careful in choosing words. That is what very, very important. Like you can see what is happening with the present day leaders. They communicate something and today, and they say tomorrow that this is what this is not what they were intended. This is what they were again. This is not what they were intended. So they change their stance. They change their stance within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, or within 10 to 20 hours. So it all matters with the seriousness of the issue. With the seriousness of the issue. So they change their thought. Sorry, they change their again what stance. They change their stance. So the reason behind it is because they fail to pick a particular word, or they fail to address a particular issue with a proper vocabulary. Again, they miscommunicate an idea. They don't know what particular word to use to what particular situation. If they fail in that, so you can see a lot of controversy or controversial what situations rising up because of that. And it is the reason why it's like communication is like a magnet. If you succeed in communicating people, you can be like a magnet. If you fail, you can be like a scorpion, like under the rug. Means people start hating you, or people start moving from you. If you are not a good communicator, people don't come behind you, isn't it? So you should be a good communicator. Either you should be having money, you should be having power. At least if you don't have power, money, you should be having knowledge. Knowledge interlinked with communication. You should know how to deliver that knowledge through proper communication. So you'll be having vast resource of knowledge. You'll be having vast resource. You'll be having a lot of knowledge in a particular field. But if you fail to use that knowledge, if you fail to communicate that knowledge to the one who is ready to receive it, so you can see a complete collapse in your profession or in your personal field. So a professional or personal relationship, or let it be a professional field. So when it comes to that is what I mean. Like again, communication is like a magnet. At the same time, it's like a scorpion. So you should know how to deal with it and how to communicate with people. Every time you open your mouth, the question needs to be asked: is what I am about to say can pull people in or push them out of my life? This is very, very important. Whenever you are opening your mouth, you should be very, very careful. So you should be careful before you utter a word. There is a saying in English: think before you ink. Think before you ink. Think before you write. Because whatever that you write will be in black and white. It will be a written document, isn't it? It will be recorded. It will be a written document. Tomorrow you may find legal consequences, legal situations because of that. So for that, to avoid such reasons, so you should always be careful. You should always think before you think, isn't it? In the same way, you should. Kannadದಲ್ಲಿ they say there is a saying that ಮಾತು ಆಡಿದರೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು, like ಮುತ್ತು ಹೊಡೆದರೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು. Like it's like the same thing. Like what you should be very, very careful before you speak, before you utter a particular utter a statement, while giving a public statement or while addressing the mass. You should be very, very careful, even at home when you're addressing people, even while typing messages in WhatsApp or in any other social media platforms. You should be very, very careful, so that you should keep in mind that you should not become a prey or fall into the trap of any trap, or you should not become a victim of controversy, any controversy. You should not face any kind of investigation. You know what happened in Bangalore, that communal something that person has communicated in Facebook, and it was enough for a religious, a particular community to work, to erupt and to create problem. Again, a lot of controversy happened after that. A lot of people again destroyed the public property. You know what happened after that? So even while dealing with social media platforms, not only with people who are close to you, not only with people who are considered as kith and kin, and whoever it is. So you should be very, very careful. Even in social media, you should be very, very careful. You should always keep this in mind, that before you open your mouth, you should always put this question in your mind. You should always put this question in mind. What is that question? Is what I am about to say, can pull people towards me, or push them out of my life, So so many people have lost their job, or they have lost their particular positions, jobs, because of what? Because of miscommunicated thought or an idea. They might have told it or said it with intention, but they might have addressed, or they might have said it with intention or without intention, but still, once it is aired, once it reaches the mass, okay, your position will be in difficulty. So you should keep that in mind. So you are all budding talents. You are all considered as budding talents. After your PG, you will be aspiring to take up different positions. So you should pose this question to yourself before uttering anything. So better thing to do is remain silent and absorb things, observe through your eyes, absorb through your mind. Okay, listen to it, absorb through your mind, absorb it in your mind. Okay, and speak only when it is your occasion, when you get the occasion or a chance to speak. Okay, don't speak. Don't try to speak unnecessarily. Even there is no scope for you to speak or utter a particular statement or something like that. You should speak only when you get the right opportunity, when you have the opportunity to speak. So you should make sure that you utilize that opportunity to the maximum, and again come in full colors, like you should, so that you should make sure that you succeed in life in a better in a better communicative skills, through a better communicative skills. Sorry. So that way, what are the tips that has to be followed? The tips that has to be followed to make your communication more attractive. The first thing is a well-timed positive word or a compliment can change the course of someone's day. You should always be in a position to compliment someone. So don't try to criticize or try to make some critical comments. Okay, don't try to fill a kind of negative energy or negative. Don't try to fill the kind of negative atmosphere, okay, in your surrounding. So you can, when you get the chance to compliment someone or praise someone, you should make sure that you utilize that opportunity. You compliment that person. You try to, even if in his absence, even that person is not in front of you, when you get the opportunity to applaud him or appreciate him, you should make sure that you utilize that opportunity, praise him or appreciate his effort or talent. Okay, though he is not present before you physically, you should make sure that. Okay, so communication is, as I told you, the first tip is to compliment or praise someone, to in order to feel a kind of positive energy in even in the in your working place. In your working place, you should make sure that even even a smile, a broad smile, can feel a kind of positive energy in the office environment, in your working place, isn't it? So a smile, okay, smile doesn't mean you should open your mouth. Even people can witness smile even in your eyes. Okay, you should always be positive. Your approach should be positive when you enter the office establishment or office or an institution. You should make sure that there is a lot of positive energy, enthusiasm flowing in you. Okay, your body language, your gestures, your smile, your approach connotes that. You again means that. Okay, you should make sure that you have a lot of positive word, compliment, positive energy in you to fill the again dull, serene vacuum in the working atmosphere or in the working places. So second point is being authentic to who you are, again, to whom you are speaking. So you should make sure that the person with whom you are speaking gains a lot of importance, because you should keep that in mind. Who are the listeners? Who are the group of listeners who have gathered there, who have sat before you? You can't speak about science before before literarians or the audience who are interested in literature. You can't speak about literature, okay, with the people in front of people with a scientific background, isn't it? So you should keep the audience in mind. You should keep your target group, your clients in mind, whom you are reaching with your communication, to whom you are targeting with your communication is very, very important. So being authentic to whom you are speaking, has got volume. People are drawn to authenticity and vulnerability. People are attracted. They are drawn towards you either because of your authenticity. If you have authenticity, or if you are vulnerable, then also people are drawn towards you. So if you are vulnerable, uh, if you are bound to be criticized, people will certainly criticize you or attack you. So in that, keeping that in mind, you should be very, very careful in addressing the people. Again, you should be very, very careful. You should keep that in mind, that whom you are addressing. You should keep that you should keep your target group in mind. You should keep the target group in your mind. before addressing something, before communicating something. So the third important point is negative words traumatizes and leave an important and again an impression. Sorry, an impression that can last for days. If the communication is going to harm relationship, it is better to avoid such communication. At the same time, such people. So you should always avoid negative words. You should always avoid negative words. You should also always avoid negative confront again situations where you have to confront people again, where you have to confront bad situations. So keep that in mind. Always avoid such situations where you are where you are where you feel that you'll be in soup, you'll be in trouble, right? You'll be in trouble. So negative words traumatizes and leave an impression that can last for days. If the communication is going to harm the relationships, it is better to avoid. It is better to avoid. So remain silent. Don't try to communicate with such people. If that again, if any part of communication, if you are trying to communicate with that person and that piece of communication or your presence or your approach through a better communication, even if it is not taken well by the receiver or the listener, if it is spoiling your relationship, better you be remain you remain silent, or be a mute spectator. You be a mute spectator. Don't try to utter anything. Be silent. Just listen. Okay, observe things. Just listen. Grasp things. Just listen to it. Silence is also a sound and a strong communication. Silence is also a strong communication, isn't it? Now, at the same time, this is the fourth important point. Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone with respect, no matter whatever their position is. So you should be in a you should understand one important thing, that ranks doesn't matter in life. You may be in a gazetted post, or you may reach a top bureaucratic position, but still, if you fail in maintaining good human relationship, you are considered as a bad communicator. So you are considered as a good communicator when you maintain a good bondage or a good relationship, even with the people of lower strata of society. Lower strata of society means people of lower rank. You should be able to communicate in better way. You should pat their shoulders, even if they belong to D group or C group. If you pat their shoulders and encourage them to do their work, okay, you can bring a lot of name and fame to your company. You create a kind of positive energy. You pat them, okay. No need of hugging them. Don't hug your C group or D group employees. Just pat their back, okay, shake their hands, punch their shoulders, okay. You create a kind of positive energy, enthusiasm in them, and that motivates them to work hard, and that motivates them to work in a corruption free system, in a corruption free establishment. Again, we should make sure that again they are there to what to achieve, or to work hard for the betterment of your institution or an establishment. So you should make sure of that you treat everyone from lower rank again employee to the higher rank employee in an equal manner. You should develop that quality of respecting each and everyone, not only elders, even your juniors when it comes to experience, your junior when it comes to, let it be age, again they are of lesser age, even if they are of lesser age, okay, you should learn that you should inculcate that habit of showing some respect or regard to whomsoever you work, with whom whoever you work. Okay, so speak with a purpose, not just to fill up silence. Okay, and remember that silence is a gift that allows self reflection. Okay, silence is also a gift. So avoid. Okay, don't speak for the sake of speaking. Okay, don't speak for the sake of speaking. Don't talk for the sake of showing your presence or exhibiting your again talent or presence. You want to again no need of again what doing any show offs. Okay, no need of being a cynosure or center of attraction. So even by being silent, even by being a mute spectator, by observing good things, okay, from whatever the good thing that is, let it come from any corner of the world. If you are a good listener or a good observer, you should be able to what observe that, grasp that, okay, inculcate that in your nature or in your characteristics, isn't it? So silence is also a good communication. You should give a befitting reply with silence. Okay, again, barking dog again creates a lot of noise, isn't it? Barking dog never bites. Empty vessels make a lot of noise. Barking dog never bites. That is what the saying is. Means people who make a lot of again fury, lot of sound. Again, they can't succeed in life. Even by being silent, you can achieve milestones in life. So in that way, words are very powerful. Choose the right word. You will increase understanding tenfold by choosing the right again word. So you can increase your understanding. You should be able to choose the right words. So a sentence means it's a bunch of words. Usually a phrase or a sentence is made of bunch of words. You should be very careful in choosing words. As I told you, everything before you think and utter, again think before you utter a particular again word or a particular sentence or a statement. So because it can create a lot of panic, a lot of problem in the society, or even it can spoil relationship, okay, within family or within relatives, isn't it? So words are very powerful. So we should be able to pick the right word at a right moment, at a particular right again at a particular exact situation. You should be very careful. So in choosing a particular word. So be sincere, transparent. This is very important. Being sincere and transparent. Okay. Not only in life, even in your profession. Not only in profession, even in your personal life. You should be very sincere, transparent. Okay, transparent, and also you should always smile generously. Generously, as I told you, you should smile generously. You may be undergoing a lot of pain or difficulties at home, but still, when it comes to professional life, you should make sure that you don't exhibit or showcase those agonies or those pains, okay, such pain or such painful, traumatized mindset in your working atmosphere. Don't bring your personal life. Personal life is different from professional life. So you should always be capable of what displaying your smile. You should be generous. You should be generous when it comes to reaching people. You should open your mouth, smile generously. Okay, smiling generously can attract people. Can attract people. That is the difference between Rama and Krishna. You should see the portrait of Rama. Rama is Maryada Purushottama, very stubborn, very stern, very again what not stubborn, very serious when it comes to approach, when it comes to stance. Whereas you have Krishna always saying, always smiling, always smiling. You see the portraits of Lord Krishna. So wherever you see the portrait of Krishna, the portrait of Lord Krishna and Rama, you can make the differentiation. Krishna is very smiling, very jovial. When it comes to its guys, the character of Krishna is like that. Whereas you have Rama. Okay, Rama is different. He's very silent. He's very silent. Even if in posture, the way he stands, isn't it? You can see the portraits or the images of Lord Rama and Krishna. You can make out the difference. So Krishna is able to attract so many people. How is it possible? Because Krishna was generous when it comes to smile. He was used to smile generously. Okay, and be generous in praising and again complimenting. As I told you, someone who deserves it. You should be generous in complimenting someone who deserves it. So don't compliment to again to a person who doesn't deserve such a compliment for the sake of complimenting. Okay, don't try to um, unnecessarily praise someone. Okay, don't try to praise someone unnecessarily. If he deserves it, praise him. Okay, praise him. Or again, it's not flattering. You should praise a person who deserves it. In that way, you are maintaining a good rapport. You are maintaining a good rapport with that person or good relationship with that person. Even in his absence, if that person deserves your praise or compliment, you should use that situation and compliment that person. So communication, as I told you, has the power to make a difference and change lives, or at the very least make someone's day more luminous, more luminous or happier. So communication, a better communication, if you smile at someone or shake hand with someone, or to whom that person may keep you as a role model, or that person may like you, or that person may be behind you. Okay, or you may be a moral booster for that person. If you praise him, if you again, if you show some sympathy or love towards him or affection towards him, or again, in a better way, if you communicate with that person with good gestures and signs and good communicative skills, that person may have happier day throughout the day. He may feel happy because you have praised him, you have complimented him, right? So that way, there will be admirers for you. They will be worshiping you, isn't it? People will be worshiping you, admiring you, okay, for so many reasons. So you should be a moral booster to them. You should always encourage them and to again feel a kind of enthusiasm in them, okay, and motivate them with better communication, with better communication. So in that way, that will help him to succeed in life. It can feel a positive energy in that person. So in today's busy life, as I told you, there is a lot of stress. There is a lot of stress in today's busy life. The stress is again greatly plays what on having good and effective communication. Okay, there is a lot of stress for again stress at this time. We're all undergoing busy life, we're all having stressful life, and a better communication can fill a kind of atmosphere, again positive atmosphere, isn't it? A better communication can fill a positive atmosphere. At the same time, in today's busy life, the stress is greatly emphasized or placed on having good and effective communication. Good and effective communication, and at the same time, it is vital life skill. It is considered as the vital life skill. Vital life skill. Why do you see so many sculptures, so many artisans, or again sculptures? Even if you visit Giza pyramid or pyramids in Egypt, those pyramids have got mummies, so many sculptures, so many sphinx. It will be again, what do you understand by that? So people who were living in that age during again before Christ 2000 BC, even in that period, people were advanced. Their civilization was not less compared to us. They were also advanced. They want to communicate something with those sculptures, isn't it? Those times there is a language. They have got a separate language. Again, in Egyptian pyramids. So you have to decode it, you have to understand it. So they want to pass on something to the future generation. Again, everything has got some meaning. Okay, Buddha in a meditating look has got some meaning, isn't it? So everything has got some meaning. Communication is a strong force. It is very very vital life skill. It is considered as a vital life skill, and to deliver and good again you should be very very skilled. You should be skillful enough to deliver a better written or a verbal or oral skill communication skill. It is essential for the speaker and writer to be accurate and precise in his communication. So which are the types of communication? So what are the major types of communication? The first major type of communication is vocabulary, very, very important. So vocabulary means the knowledge of words, the knowledge of words. So you should be very, very sound. You should be like a moving dictionary. You should be like a moving dictionary. When you should be able to find alternative synonyms when you fumble, when you find it difficult to what find a particular word when you address someone. Will be again when you speak with someone, there should be a flow of what? Flow of thought. If you want to have a flow of thought, your vocabulary has to be sound. Your vocabulary has to be sound. If you want to enhance your vocabulary, you should develop a lot of reading habit. Lot of reading habit. You should develop reading books. You should read newspapers. You should enhance your vocabulary. You should improve your vocabulary. Keep your keep a pocket dictionary with you. Keep a pocket dictionary. At the same time, you have a mobile smartphone with you. And that smartphone, you have an app called Dictionary app. So you can download that app. You can try to find the meanings for so many unfamiliar, unknown words in that app. So that is how you can improve your vocabulary by regular usage. By regular usage of a particular word in your speech. By practically using that particular unfamiliar word in your regular usage, you can enhance your vocabulary. You try to understand the meaning, try to get the meaning for a particular word, and try to use that word in your regular daily usage of any language, any particular, let it be any language, not only English. So you should be able to learn at least five to ten new words a day, 5 to 10 new words a day, and try to use those 5 to 10 new words in your regular usage of that particular language. Okay, so if there is a chance to enhance your Kannada, your English language skills, like by improving your vocabulary, if you find an opportunity, there are so many platforms. You have social medias. There are so many articles, okay, that are posted in social medias. Tweets. So many different difficult words are used by so many people. You can see there are so many posts related to different things. So if you follow, you'll be able to learn so many legal terms, so many scientific terms, isn't it? So that is how whenever you get the opportunity to improvise your vocabulary, you should grab that opportunity with open hands. You should not misuse that opportunity. You inculcate or develop the habit of reading newspapers. Reading newspapers will certainly help you to enhance your vocabulary, because you'll be getting at least 5 to 10 new words. You can see 5 to 10 new words every day. You can learn at least 5 to 10 new words every day and try to find the meaning for those 5 to 10 new words and try to use them in your regular usage. So at the same time, the next important type of communication is again verbal communication. The first thing is verbal. When it comes to verbal, verbal communication, vocabulary is important. As I told you, verbal communication. Verbal means extempore speaking with someone. You should be a good orator. Verbal communication means you should have a better voice, better voice, better voice, better what accent pronunciation skills. You should know which word to be pronounced in what way. Okay, you should have that knowledge of pronunciation. You should learn phonetics for that. Phonetics, accent neutralization. Again, develop again. Start learning punctuation. Sorry, different pronunciations. So when it comes to using a particular word, people from different countries use different pronunciations, but we should always follow British pronunciation, because British pronunciation is considered as the standard English pronunciation, because we all follow British English. Being a colony of British Empire for 300 years, Indians are bound to follow British English. You cannot follow Caribbean accent, Caribbean pronunciation, or African pronunciation, or Australian pronunciation, or pronunciation of Middle East. So English is again is spoken in a different way. Again, you have different dialects, right? People speak different dialects. Even in Kannada, different accents. Okay, even in Kannada, there are different dialects, different accents, isn't it? So when it comes to English, also there are so many different accents, so many different dialects. People speak English in a different way. When it comes to Africans, when it comes to Middle East, people from Middle East, Australia, again, people use English in a different way. Okay, it all depends on your voice, your again parts of speech. Okay, if you have got thick tongue, okay, and everything matters, isn't it? Lips, everything matters when it comes to accent, when it comes to pronouncing a particular word, pronouncing a particular word. So verbal communication is very very important. So you should make sure that when you are speaking or talking to someone, you should make sure that it is clear. You should think your language is clear. Okay, your the thought or the idea is clear. You have what the word, the language that you are using, the vocabulary that you are using. You should be very very clear, and it should reach. It should not be complex enough. You should not use complex language when you are dealing with people, students. Okay, when you are dealing again postgraduate students or graduate students, we should not use superfluous language, superfluous words, okay, high elevated language. You cannot speak like Shashi Tharoor. You cannot talk to or address your students like Shashi Tharoor with high rated words or high language. So what I mean to say means difficult words. So you cannot use this. Your target group is very important. With whom you are talking is very well, or addressing with whom you are talking or with whom you are speaking is very very important. So when it comes to vocabulary, when it comes to use of words, verbal language, in verbal language, like verbal language is language, learning a language. When it comes to learning a language, verbal use of language is very very important. And when it comes to mother tongue, people don't speak, don't write, don't learn their mother tongue by writing, isn't it? But when it comes to an alien language like English, we learn English by developing right again by through writing, by improving writing skills, isn't it? By improving our writing skills. An alien language like English can be improved through writing skills. The first skill that we used while learning a language like English is writing skill, because it's an imported language. But when it comes to a language like Kannada, which is a mother tongue, which is our mother tongue, and the first skill that we inculcated or developed is listening skill. We listen, isn't it? Listen. Even when it comes to English, it is listening skill, writing skill, then reading skill. The last skill when it comes to an alien language like English is speaking skill. So verbally, if it is an alien language or imported language, so the last skill usually is that can be again acquired is again speaking skill. But when it comes to a language like Kannada, which is a mother tongue, the first skill is listening skill. The second skill is speaking skill. The third part is writing, and the fourth part is reading. Isn't it? That is how it differs with which particular language that you are learning. You are learning a language like English. The first skill, as it is listening. The second one is writing, isn't it? Listening, writing, reading, and the last skill is speaking. But when it comes to mother tongue, a language like mother tongue like Kannada, the first thing that we do is listen and we speak, isn't it? Verbally. Again, verbal again, method of communication, process of communication, again, is what we use when we were in infancy, when we were in infancy, when we were infants, isn't it? So the second part is visually. The second type of skill is visual skill or visual learning. Okay, you learn, you develop, communicate with someone visually through images. Okay, you understand something through images, so you communicate something through images, graphs, isn't it? Graphs, maps, and also what, infographics, which gives information. Graph that gives information is called as infographics. So the second type of communication is visual communication. In that communication, you see certain images, you understand something. So a particular image, a particular sign, or a particular graph, a particular map means something, right? Means something. And the third important type of communication is non-verbal communication. That is body language, eye contact, and also what, gestures, as I told you, gestures. Thumbs up means something, isn't it? Okay, thumbs up means something. Giving a punch in the air means something, isn't it? Okay, this means victorious. This means, thumbs up means what? Do well, all the best, isn't it? Okay, go well, go ahead, thumbs up. So each gesture has got some meaning, isn't it? Hmm? Giving a punch into the, again, in the air means, punching the air means show, it's a sign of victory. Even that is also a sign of victory, isn't it? And you have slangs also. Some gestures means some bad. Again, you will be again. You can say slangs also with some again bad gestures. You'll be communicating something else. So everything is important. Yes, the gestures. Okay, that's called as non-verbal communications. Gestures, eye contacts, body language, they all come under the category called non-verbal communication. And the fourth important is written communication. Fourth important type of communications. Written communication. In written communication, you have books, magazines, websites, you have emails where you type the soft copy of your ideas or information is typed, you send it through emails, and you have websites. There you can see the written communication. Information is drawn from the websites. Again, normally it will be again written communication, type communication, isn't it? And other important is book. Other important type of communication when it comes to written communication is books. Okay. So these are all important when it comes to again. These are the major four important types of communications. First one is verbal. The second one is visual. The third one is non-verbal, and the fourth one is written communication. Written communication. So you should be thorough with all these four major types of communication. So let us see the significance of communication. Till now I spoke about what is communication, and I spoke on the types of communication, and also spoke about tips to be followed for a better communication. And now the fourth important issue is significance of communication. Significance of communication. So, what is the significance of communication? The first major significance is it is valued. It is valued in workplace. It has got higher importance in workplace. People recognize your talent, your skill, your what talent or skill is displayed through your good communicating skills. Valued in workplace. If you are applying for job, you need to demonstrate what a varied vocabulary and a tailor-made language. Your language be like tailor-made language. It should be like tailor-made language, very, very skilled, very, very authentic, very, very clear. You should be, brevity should be followed. Brevity, simple, very, very clear, very, very authentic. It should stick to the point. So sticking to the point means authenticity. So brevity means simplicity. So brevity means with a simple method you should communicate a strong message. You should be able to communicate a strong message, isn't it? Authenticity, clarity, simplicity, isn't it? These are all important issues when it comes to dealing with again an issue like communication. Should be able to again give an effective again if you want to give an effective lecture or a seminar or a again address the public gathering, you should develop all these, you should inculcate all these. There is a need of authenticity, clarity in thought, authenticity in idea, and brevity, simplicity in choosing the language. Simplicity in choosing the language. You should not use difficult words just to get what compliments from people. So though they don't understand your message or thought or idea or information, again, you may get a lot of praise or appreciation from people just because you have used difficult words. That is not important in communication. Just using the difficult words for the sake of again for the sake of using it for displaying your talent is not at all a good strategy. It's not at all a good strategy when it comes to communication. So if you want to be a good communicator, use simple language, avoid complex words, avoid complex words, be clear in your thought and be clear in your idea, should follow authenticity, and that makes it easy for the people, the listener, to understand what you are going to communicate. So it's very important. So if you are applying for job, you need to demonstrate a very varied vocabulary and a tailor-made language to your audience, so that they should listen to you carefully. So your thought or an idea or information should reach them effectively. Should reach them effectively and present your ideas appropriately. So you should present your ideas appropriately. So for that, even in writing, you should be very clear when it comes to presenting your idea. So you should be clear and concise. You should be very clear and concise when it comes to writing a particular even in your writing part of communication. Again, at the same time, the second important significance of significant aspect of communication is again in demand by business. Let's see, people who are considered as a good communicator, they are in great demand. They are in great demand. They are again very much in need. They are very much in need by even in multinational companies. If you have 50% marks, 55 percentage in your post graduation, if you are a good communicator, you'll be able to get the job. Your percentage, your scoring doesn't determine you what doesn't determine you to fetch the job. Doesn't determine you to fetch the job. So, in order to fetch a job in a good multinational company, you should develop this skill called communication skill. Okay, again, it's in demand. It's in demand by business. Again, in marketing sector, there is a huge demand for a good communicator. Oral and written communication proficiencies are constantly ranked in top 10 desirable skills of the world by the employers. So it is one of the top, it is considered as the top ranked skill. It is considered as the top rank out of the 10 different skills. Communication skill is considered as the top skill because it is the most desirable skill by an employer. An employer always look for a good communicator, one who can communicate well with his clients, one who can create market to his company, one who can create a lot of demand for his products, one who bring a lot of earning to the company. So he will be always looking for such an individual who is very popular when it comes to dealing with communication, who is considered as a good communicator. So even in interviews, you will be tested a lot. You will be tested a lot when it comes to communication. They always look for a good and a better communicator, good and a better communicator. All the multinational companies in the business sector, they are in search of a good communicator because it is the top ranked skill out of the 10 most desirable skills in the business world because it has got 57%, 57.9% when it comes to awarding percentage. So a man with a better communication can can have do has can fetch a job, can get a job. There is a probability of getting a job, 57% of probability, 57.9% of probability in getting a job. So communication, having a better communication is ranked top, is ranked top in fetching a job, And the second thing is organization. Okay, if you're working in a better organization and teamwork, the top 10 most demanded soft skills. So these are the top 10 most in demand soft skills. One is communication skill with 57.9%, and the second thing is organization. The better organization you are, there is a better chance of surviving in the marketing field, in the business field, isn't it? So organization, teamwork. So organization has got 56%, communication has got 57%, teamwork has got 56%, 56%, and you see critical thinking 55.8, punctuality 55.9. Punctuality stands in the fourth rank. Punctuality stands in the fourth rank. See, even if you sit at home and do work at home, but if you are an effective communicator, you can reach anybody at any corner of the world. So you can bring a lot of fame, name, money to your company by even by working at home. The only thing that is required is you should be a good communicator. That is considered as the necessary skill, the necessary skill, the basic skill of all the soft skills. Communication is considered as the basic skill, the basic or the fundamental skill. That is the reason why it stands at the top place. It is considered as the top skill. So it stands as the top rank one skill, communication skill, and the second one is organization with 56%, and the third one is teamwork, and the fourth one is punctuality, and the fifth one is critical thinking. See, critical thinking is very much required, but still critical thinking stands in the fifth place with 55%, whereas a man with better communicative skill has got higher soft skill than all the other soft skills because it is ranked as with 57%, 57.9% at the top. Okay, it is ranked at the top with 57.9%. The ranks have been given by the multinational companies. So it is important. It is vital and or important to understand that this skill is very significant and important, and this skill is very much emphasized by all the companies who are looking to employ the professionals. If you are applying for a profession or a company, again based jobs, if you are applying for a business, again multinational companies, so make sure that you are a good communicator. You develop that skill, you start developing from today itself, start speaking to people. Okay, again, but one thing is sure, you need to learn a language like English. If you are working in in a country like India or any major country of the world other than France, Germany, or Spain, you are bound to learn English. So they always seek a proficient English speaker, a proficient English speaker. They always search for a proficient English speaker, then only you can get a job. If you are not a good, if you are not a good English speaker, it is difficult for you to get a job. So this is very much important. So again, by learning good English, by enhancing, improving your communication skills, it is easy for you to get a job, because communication skills ranks at the top with 57%. Critical thinking, social skills, creativity. Creativity stands at the seventh rank. Seventh rank stands below communication skills. Creativity and critical thinking both are important, but still, a man with better communicating skills can easily get a job from again can easily get a job than the man who has got critical thinking and creativity, creative knowledge or creative process of what thinking. So in that way, these are the 10 top most soft skills which are in demand. Top 10 soft skills which are in demand in the world. First one is communicative skill, and the second one is organizational skill, teamwork, punctuation. Okay, punctuation is very important. Logging the time in which you log in, the time in which you log out is crucial when it comes to staying in a particular company. Because if you are late, if you are again, if you leave early from the work, you may be kicked out. You may be kicked out. So you should keep that in mind. Okay, punctuality is also important. Critical thinking is also important. Creativity is also important, and adaptability. Adaptable. Being adaptable to different atmosphere, different situation, different working conditions, different type of people, different people of different origin, different communities, sectors, again sects or castes. Again, you'll be thrown into, you'll be dumped into such a again position where you are bound to work with different people, isn't it? Different kind of people. So in such a situation, adaptability again takes a significant position. So you should develop that quality of adaptability in you. You should be in a position to adapt to different situations, to different conditions, isn't it? And friendly personality. And the last soft skill that is naturally seek by an employer is friendly personality. Friendly personality doesn't mean that you go and sit on the lap of your boss. Okay, friendly personality means having friendly approach towards your employees. Towards your employees, you should develop those friendly gestures. Okay, friendly gestures. Show respect, show love, affection, care. Okay, towards your colleagues or professionals, fellow professionals. Don't give scope for jealousy or envy. Okay, envy or jealousy can destroy what can destroy relationship, can destroy a good relationship. So in that case, you should always develop friendly personality. Friendly personality. You should smile even at your enemy, even if you have got animosity, hatredness towards someone. Don't try to exhibit that. Okay, you what just swallow it, digest it. Okay, come out of it. Okay, give a smile to your friend. Let him be an enemy. Let him be a friend. But you should always again have a friendly nature or quality in you, that you fill in a kind of positive atmosphere, friendly atmosphere, so that everyone starts smiling at you. Okay, if not again hugging you, they certainly smile at you. They certainly feel like sharing something with you. They certainly care you. They certainly show respect to you. Okay, if you are secluded, again, if you are again secluded and feel isolated yourself, okay, if you want to remain disenchanted or disentangled, or if you don't mingle with your colleagues or friends, you can't be part of the society or the working community. So if you want to be a part of working community, maintaining good relationship is always significant. Maintaining good friendly personality or nature, developing friendly nature or personality plays a major role. Though it is the last soft skill, it is also significant, one of the significant soft skill. So coming to third important significant factor of communication is uh, it helps you in your career progression. It helps you in getting position what promotions. It helps you in getting promotions in your company, okay, in your company and in your institution or establishment. So if you are a good communicator, if you are able to, if you succeed in bringing in doing a lot of business for your company, you will be what promoted. You will be easily promoted, and people start admiring you, admiring your. You can create a kind of charisma, okay, a kind of charismatic personality. People start admiring you. If you, it helps the progress of your company. It helps the progress of your company. You'll be loved, cared, and admired by the people. So it helps you in your professional progress, in your professional progress, and it builds what a better rapport with the customers. It builds a better rapport with the customers, better relationship with the customers. So see, think that you are owning a shop, an electronic items shop, like you will be selling TVs and refrigerators, and you have a electronic item shop. If you don't maintain a good rapport with your consumer, you cannot enhance or improve your business. For that, to maintain a good rapport or relationship with your customer, you need to what? Understand the significance of communication, understand the significance of communication, improve your communicative skills. Okay, it starts to come naturally. Don't give artificial smile, artificial smile. Don't give artificial gestures or artificial what show artificial body language for the sake of impressing someone. Don't do that. It has to come naturally. Be friendly, be positive. Okay. So in that way, you are enhancing your business. You are attracting your customers. So that way, it builds a good rapport with your customers and enhances your professional image. It enhances your professional image. You'll be respected by people, by subordinates, isn't it? If you have good sound speaking skills, you can, if you know how to maintain good rapport with the subordinates, with the colleagues or the fellow working community, if you maintain good rapport, if you maintain good communicative skills, you can enhance a kind of professional image and also public image. So on the other side, parallelly you are also enhancing what your public image. Your public image also gets elevated, and people start admiring you or start following you. Okay, there will be a lot of fanfare. Okay, behind you, and in that way, you can taste what success in life, in professional life. So at the same time, you can see the reflection of achieving success in professional life, even in personal life. So you can, in a way, make your life a happier life by achieving milestones in professional life, which is having a reflection on your personal life. So everything goes simultaneously. So it will have an impact on your personal life also, isn't it? The milestones that you achieve in professional life will have an impact on your personal life. So you have to keep that in mind. So for that reason, keep one thing in mind, that you inculcate all these good qualities that can enhance your you can again you can you or you try to improvise all these communicative skills. So you understand the significance of communicative skills. Try to inculcate all the good strategies that are related to the better strategies related to communicative skills. Adopt those better strategies, develop it to those better strategies, inculcate those better strategies, follow it, adopt it and try to bring it in practice. Okay, make sure that it happens naturally. Make sure that it happens naturally, and at the same time, uh, sound again it can what improve the business relationships and also convinces and compels the corporate materials. Okay, it can convince a better communication. If you are a good communicator, you'll be able to convince the corporate people. At the same time, it increases what productivity. It increases productivity. That is what I was telling you. It increases productivity not only at professional sector, even at home. Productive energy. So there will be a lot of productive energy, positive energy. You will be in a position to cherish life in a happier way, to feel life in a happier way, isn't it? So convince and compel the corporate sectors. At the same time, it increases your productivity. At the same time, it creates what a kind of stronger decision making. Uh, it creates a kind of stronger decision making personality. It develops a kind of stronger decision making personality in you. Okay, better communicative skills again enhances your decision making personalities, decision making character. It enhances your decision making characters, a stronger decision making character, and problem solving. You'll be able to solve problems if you are a good communicator. If you succeed in communicating with a dialogue, with a proper dialogue, with a proper negotiation, so many issues have come to a conclusion. So many issues have been sorted out or finalized or means been sorted out with a proper dialogue. The only thing that is required is people have to come to a negotiation time table, sit, talk, okay, sit, talk, have discussion, one-to-one discussion, okay, try to resolve the differences, try to resolve the differences between you. So that is how you can develop a good relationship. Okay, that is how countries like China and India can avoid war by having continuous negotiations, by having continuous dialogue, one-to-one dialogue, okay, so where we can sit and find out a solution for this border issue. No, this border is not marked. So the border between China and India is not marked. It's not a border marked boundary. Okay, because it has got a mountain range. So that is the reason why this issue has arisen. Okay, it is having an impact on Indian economy, Chinese economy. It is having an impact on education. It is having an impact on banning all the apps, isn't it? So you can see the difference, the changes that it has made because of lack of communication between the leaders, between the bureaucrats, between the officials, the top officials of armament. So the continuous negotiation, okay, one-to-one negotiation or treaty, one-to-one dialogue between the leaders, between the people can resolve so many problems. Can resolve so many problems. In order to in order to sort out such issues, in order to sort out such problems, what you have to do is you have to develop you have to develop a better and a strong communicative skill, inculcate a strong communicative skill. You can be a leader of a company, you can be a CEO, Chief Executive Officer of a company, if you are a strong communicator. That is the extra advantage that we Indians have because British left us so many good factors when they left India. They left good factors also. So English is one among that so many good factors. One among those factors, English is a boon. It's a blessing in disguise for us because people across the world consider that we Indians again use English in a better way compared to Americans or any other users of English. We Indians are considered as the best users of English after British native users of English. So what I mean to say is Indians have got that extra advantage of of again learning English as a second language in our school days, and we should we should make use of or utilize such an opportunity, and we should develop our communicative skills with a better learning atmosphere at the same time by learning all the skills of English language. By learning all the skills of English language, by again what we can have command over English. By learning English language, we can deliver communication. We can achieve again bigger milestones in our professional fields. We will be able to reach different horizons or zenith in different sectors of life, isn't it? So we can succeed. We can succeed in life, and you can see success is ensured. Success, if you are a good communicator, there is a probability of succeeding. There is 100% probability of succeeding in life. So success is ensured. Success is ensured if you are a good communicator. So what are the common barriers of communication? The common barriers of communication are like dissatisfaction or disinterest with one's job. So you normally don't feel like communicating with people, you remain silent, you don't show your feelings or emotions, you remain secluded, isolated, disenchanted, disentangled. Okay, so what I mean to say is that that dissatisfaction or disinterest arises because of what? Because of lack of satisfaction. Okay, dissatisfaction or disinterest comes because of one's job. If you don't enjoy your job or your profession, you feel that disinterest or what you undergo kind of dissatisfaction. So then there is every chance that you will be lesser productive, will be lesser advantageous to the company. Company may not again find it find you a productive employer find you a again productive employer or an employee, not employer, employee. So in that way, normally, if you are not happy with your job, this problem arises. This problem arises. And the second thing is inability to listen, inability to listen others. This is another important barrier. So most of us are good orators. We normally speak. We don't listen. We don't show the interest in listening to what the others say. We don't show the interest to the problems of others. So then only we can find solutions, isn't it? So what normally do is it will be like one-sided communication. We should always, as I told you, a good doctor is one who is a patient listener. He is the one who can diagnose his patient very well. Because if he listens to what his patient says about his ill condition, if he listens to him for at least 15 minutes, he will be able to diagnose his health issue, his health condition, or his health problem, isn't it? So that is how the situation is. So if you are working in a particular profession, in a particular field, make sure that you should be a good listener. So not being a good listener is always an hindrance for a good communication. Not being a better listener is always a hindrance for good a good better or an effective communication. So that is the second barrier in very barrier to communication. And the third barrier is lack of transparency or trust. If you don't trust people, if you don't have transparency in your behavior, if you hide things, if you are dishonest, if you are not loyal, if you don't if you are not transparent, if you are not be honest to your conscience or consciousness, you are bound to um, bound to face disrespect from your colleagues or people. You should trust people. You should trust them. You should be loyal to your company. You should trust. You should be transparent. Okay, you cannot hide. You cannot hide things. Okay, so that is another major aspect of good communication. Aspect of a good communication. If you are again, if you are less transparent, if you are distrust, if you are not loyal, so that means you are bound to be considered as a bad communicator. So that is the biggest hindrance or biggest hurdle or obstacle in communication. You should be transparent, very open, bold, frank. Okay, when it comes to professional life, you should be open, frank, bold, okay, transparent in dealing with things. So that by being that, like, by inculcating those qualities, so you can reach certain goals in your professional life. So that is the biggest hindrance. So you have to be bold, frank, and transparent. You have to be very, very loyal. You have to be trustworthy in your professional life. So if you follow all that, you can be an effective communicator. You be an effective communicator. Communication, and the biggest barrier to communication is style. Style, the approach that you adopt in communicating things. Style is very, very important. How well you address an issue, how well you deliver an information or a piece of message to someone. Again, takes major again takes gains a lot of importance, or takes a major issue or becomes a major issue. You know, so when you address an issue, becomes a major part of your communication. So communication, adopting different style. People have got their own unique style in addressing the community, in addressing the problem, professional problem. So in a better communicative, with a better effective communicative skill, okay, with a better effective communicative skill and style, you'll be able to overcome so many difficulties that you overcome so many difficulties that you come across in your professional life. Professional life. Conflicts in the workplace. So conflicts in the workplace. This is another important aspect. Should avoid conflicts or confrontations with your colleagues. So you should build a kind of good ambience, good atmosphere, effective learning, cordial atmosphere with your colleagues. So inculcate effective, cordial, learning, loving, caring, respectable atmosphere with your colleagues, with your fellow workers. Then that's how you can enhance your communicative skills. The biggest hurdle or a barrier for a better communication is having conflicts, so many problems, confrontations with our colleagues, or having so many enemies or foes in our working atmosphere. So, and the last important barrier is cultural differences and language differences. If you have a problem with your language, culture, the way the treatment meted out to you will be different, isn't it? If you are a man from Africa and working in a country, an European country like Germany, you will be heading from a different culture, from a different setup, from a different background, from a different uh, setup. So in that condition, the treatment meted out to you will be different. So uh, normally, job seekers or an employer always seek employees from different cultures, because then only you can extract work from employers, because employees, sorry, from employers always seek people from seek professionals from from different cultural, religious, and also people speaking different languages, background from people speaking different languages. So they always seek such multi what multi-pot cultured people, means people from different sector of society, because then only they can what enhance what the working culture. Then only they can improve the working culture in a company. That's how you can improve the working culture in a company. So by having people from different sects, from different communities, from different sects or different communities, you can improve what the working culture. So that normally brings what lot of profit earning for the company. So with these key points, tips about, I spoke on the importance of communication. I also spoke about tips. I gave you some tips about tips on communication. I also spoke about types of communication, different types of communication. I also spoke about different variants of communication in these 2 hours. I hope I have given enough justice for the allotted time to speak on an important soft skill called communicative skill. I hope I have, to certain extent, enlightened you the importance you in learning, in understanding the importance of the communicative skill, importance of communicative skill. So, dear students, consider this as an important skill. Try to improvise your communicative skills. Forget about, I'm not saying that forget about your percentage. Please focus on your studies. At the same time, wherever the opportunity you get, whatever the platform is, make sure that you try to